Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Yasir Hussain from Pakistan Studies Department, Army Public School and College, Ordnance Road. Our today's topic is Establishment of All India Muslim League from chapter number 1 and its lecture number 4. The objectives of our topic are: describe the background and reasons for the establishment of All India Muslim League, and highlight the objectives of establishment of All India Muslim League. Students, before going to discuss about our today's topic, I want to remind you about the previous lecture, in which we have discussed about the background of the Aligarh movement, the objectives of the Aligarh movement, and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's services for the Muslims of India. This was one of the important topics we have discussed. Dear students, now coming to our today's topic, that is the establishment of All India Muslim League, we will have to first look into its background, that what were the circumstances that led to the establishment of All India Muslim League. In this regard, the first point is that of the establishment of the British system of government. As you know, the British government introduced democratic system in India in 1858 with the start of the British Raj. Then Hindus were in clear majority under this new system. As in the democratic system, majority has the authority. Therefore, in this regard, Hindus were in clear majority. The British had already crippled the Muslims economically, and the economic situation of the Muslims were very worse. In majority rule, Muslims were surely incur a great loss. So in such a situation, the Muslims need a platform, especially a political platform, to voice their demands. The second point of the background of the establishment of All India Muslim League is a Hindu extremism. The Hindus demanded replacement of Urdu by Hindi as official language in 1867. It is one of the famous events we have already discussed, the Urdu-Hindi controversy at Banaras, 1867. During these riots, a number of people were also killed and injured. And after this, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan also changed his opinion, and it was his views that he gave the idea of two-nation theory as well. Then the Hindu extremists also started reconverting Muslims into Hindu religion through Arya Samaj-like programs. Arya Samaj is a program the Hindu extremists started in order to reconvert the Muslims to Hinduism. Likewise, Hindu writers were separating hatred against the Muslims among their followers as well. The third point of its background is that of the establishment of All India National Congress. It is one of the first political platforms established in India. It was a retired serviceman, British serviceman A.O. Hume, who established the Indian National Congress in the year 1885. The Hindus welcomed it enthusiastically and joined it in great numbers. W.C. Banerjee was elected as its first president. Dear students, the fourth point is demand for separate electorate. Separate electorate is a very important point. In the coming points, I will let you know about this thing, that it is one of the causes of the establishment of All India Muslim League as well. Here, I will let you know about the opinion of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan regarding the separate electorate. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan believed that the British system of elections did not suit the Indian conditions because this will reduce the Muslims to a position of permanent slavery and subservient to the majority community. As you know, in the modern concept of democracy, majority is the authority. Therefore, in the subcontinent where Hindus were in clear majority, and definitely they could be elected whenever such type of elections were conducted, while the Muslims were a minority community, therefore they will be permanent slaves. So Sir Syed Ahmad Khan proposed the system of separate electorate as an alternative to this democratic system, where Muslims can be weighted, although they were in minority, but their weightage would be over there. So according to Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, the democratic system could not be made useful unless the Muslims had their own political party. The fifth point of the background is that of the partition of Bengal and Congress attitude. About partition of Bengal, we have discussed earlier as well. Just remind those lectures as well. In 1905, Bengal was divided into two parts on purely administrative purposes by the British government. The Muslims were to be benefited from this partition, especially in the eastern wing where the Muslims were in majority. But on the other hand, Hindus launched a strong protest against this partition, and Congress as a party strongly supported the Hindu extremists. The Congress was claiming that it was a neutral party who was working for the whole of India without any discrimination between the Hindus and Muslims. But the Muslims saw that Congress, notwithstanding with all its claims of that of the neutrality, and it was openly supporting the Hindu extremists. Therefore, this attitude of Congress greatly disappointed the Muslims. Point number 6 of the background of the establishment of All India Muslim League is the change of government in Britain. The Liberal Party came into power in 1905 elections held in Britain. The Liberal Party gave a program of political reforms, especially for India. With this changing political scenario, the Muslim leaders decided to make a common cause for taking up their demands with this new government. Now, dear students, one of the most important points that led to the establishment of All India Muslim League was the Simla Deputation. As we have discussed this point earlier as well, just recall that about 35 top Muslim leaders met with the then Viceroy Lord Minto at Simla in 1906. The Muslim leaders presented their demands to the Viceroy: separate electorate and the reserved seats for the Muslims in all representative bodies were the most important demands. separate electorate, again, as I mentioned earlier, it was a very important demand, keeping in view the situation of the subcontinent or India, where the Hindus were in majority. So whenever the elections were held over there, definitely the majority could come into power. Therefore, for this purpose, according to the proportion of the population, the seats have to be reserved, and that is known as the separate electorate. The Viceroy's response was positive and encouraging, and the Viceroy promised to take up their demands with the British government. Students, this meeting was actually a turning point. After this, the Muslims decided to establish their own platform, their own party, from where they can put their demands to the government. Dear students, after going through the background of the establishment of All India Muslim League, now it's time to discuss about the foundation of the All India Muslim League. As I said before, the successful Simla Deputation meeting actually led the establishment of All India Muslim League. Therefore, in the same year, 1906, at Dhaka, it was 30th December, during the session of Muhammadan Educational Conference, the Muslim League was established. Remember that Muhammadan Educational Conference was the conference that was established by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan back in 1886, and its purpose was to separate education and different issues among the Muslims in different parts of the subcontinent or India. It was an annual conference. Since 1886, it was being held in different parts of the subcontinent or India every year. This session was presided by Nawab Waqarul Mulk, and Nawab Salimullah Khan moved a resolution for the establishment of All India Muslim League, which was unanimously adopted. The resolution was seconded by Maulana Zafar Ali Khan, Hakim Ajmal Khan, and Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar as well. Sir Aga Khan was elected as its first president. Dear students, here you can see some of the historical pictures, a group photo of the annual Muhammadan Educational Conference. Then Nawab Waqarul Mulk, who actually presided over the meeting. Then Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar, who wrote the constitution of the Muslim League. And Nawab Salimullah Khan, who proposed the formation of All India Muslim League. Last but not the least, there is Sayyid Amir Ali, who established a branch of Muslim League in London as well in 1908. Now, after its establishment, we will have to look into the objectives of the Muslim League. That is, number one, to safeguard and protect the interests of the Indian Muslims, and to convey their demands to the British government in a peaceful manner and through constitutional means. Number two is to create feelings of respect and goodwill for the government amongst the Muslims, and to remove any misunderstanding they might have regarding the government policies and actions. And the third point is to create the feelings of brotherhood between the Muslims and other Indian communities. Students, you can see that in the initial objectives of the Muslim League, the main focus was to protect the interests of the Muslims in India, and then to build a good and congenial relationship between the Muslims and that of the British government. Also, create a good relationship or feelings of brotherhood among all other communities in India. Dear students, now we are going to discuss the last point of our today's topic. There is the change of the objectives. The change of objectives in the Muslim League was done in 1913 with the joining of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah in the Muslim League. He initiated to change the Muslim League's initial objective, which was focused only on building good relationship between the Muslims and that of the British government, and to protect the rights of the Muslims only. But a big change was brought by Quaid-e-Azam in the objectives of the Muslim League, and that is the policy of unconditional subservience was abandoned, and the demand of the self-government was included. This change in the objectives of the Muslim League proved to be a turning point in the history of the Muslims of India. That's it for the topic, and now let's have a quick recap. That in this topic we have discussed the background and the reasons for the establishment of All India Muslim League and the objectives of the establishment of All India Muslim League. Dear students, now it's a time for the assignment that as usual you will have to read and highlight pages 10 to 12, then learn by heart the definitions and the different concepts we have discussed. Then you will have to answer the following short questions. It's from the exercise question number 7. What objectives were set for the Muslim League at the time of its inception? You can find this answer on the relevant pages. Then question number 8. What important change was made in the objectives of the Muslim League and when? Again, you will find its answer on the relevant page. It's page number 12. Students, as you know, in the board paper, certain extra questions also come other than the exercise. So here is one such question. It's question number 5 in the sequence of our lectures. Who established the Indian National Congress and when? You can find its answer on the relevant page of all establishment of All India National Congress. Then the exercise long question. It's one question, question number 4. Give background and the reasons for the establishment of Muslim League. The whole topic we have discussed today from page number 10 to 12 is its answer with the headings. You will have to complete it. Dear students, thank you very much for listening the lecture. For any questions and queries, you are always welcome. Do follow the timetable that was given for the WhatsApp group, and do go through the lecture first and then ask the questions during that time period. I will be there to answer your queries. Do complete the assignments I am giving to you. Those questions, relevant questions, their answers, everything you will have to go through accordingly. Stay blessed and see you in the next lecture. Take care. Allah Hafiz.